Good morning, gamers. Today, I would like to share with you about the healthiest thing that has ever happened in a gaming group that I am aware of. And it was part of the way that I just sort of grew up gaming. It's what my gaming group did in high school in the 80s and in college in the 90s. And this idea came to me yesterday to share this with you when I was talking on Discord with my friend Condor DM. Check out his YouTube channel. And we were talking about some different DMing things. And I was reminded that when I was growing up, we did this thing called round robin. That's why our picture today is a robin. And we would take the DM screen and take turns DMing. Now, I was often like the majority DM most of the time, and before I was the majority DM most of the time, my mentor Ron Watson was the majority DM most of the time. But we weren't the only DMs. Even when we were the DM, the majority most of the time, we did this round robin thing. We would take turns. We would finish a story arc. We'd say that we needed a break, and we'd hand the screen to somebody else, and somebody else would handle the next story arc. And story arcs could go for weeks or months, just depending, or maybe they did 2 story arcs or maybe 3 story arcs if we were really lucky and needed a break and wanted to actually play our characters. But sooner or later, everybody in our group got a chance to GM. And, there were people that, I don't know, I don't want to DM, or I'm shy, or I don't think I could ever DM, or whatever. And the thing is, we made them do it anyway. Peer pressure, positive peer pressure. And it was good for them. And they actually improved and became better and felt better about themselves and their ability as a gamer, their just ability to be organized, or wow, I didn't realize I could DM, or wow, this is fun once they got into it. And when you pass the screen around and have everybody game master, one of the things that cures is you don't have people complaining anymore. Oh, I'm the forever DM. Oh, woe is me. I see that so much on the internet these days. People just, I'm the forever DM. Well, this would cure that. Tap some of your players, hand them the screen, and say, it's your turn for a story arc. You come up with something. Even if it's a one-shot story arc, even if it's a really short thing, and we finish it in one session, you do something. But it also helps other people understand and appreciate what you're doing as the DM. Some of the stuff that I've been encountering lately on the internet and discussing with people and hanging out with other D&D YouTubers and stuff is this whole weird animosity we have these days between players and DMs and stuff. I'm going to try to address that in the coming weeks in the most positive way possible, because we just don't need a whole lot more ranting and bitching. I'm not saying I won't ever rant and bitch, but we're going to try to address things in the most positive way possible. But round robin DMing or round robin GMing, this would help a lot. We had some GMs that, they GM, but they'd only GM that one game that they liked. Like there was a guy that just loved to DM Top Secret, and Top Secret was a game where you were like a James Bond spy. And so when it was his turn, we wouldn't do D&D. When it was his turn, we'd do Top Secret because that was like his thing. Or there was a guy that just liked to do Marvel superheroes. And so when it was his turn to DM, he didn't feel comfortable DMing D&D, but boy, he could spin you some comic book stories and make you feel like you were in a comic book. So when it was his turn to DM, it wouldn't be D&D. During his turn, it would be Marvel superheroes or whatever. Or there would be people that would have their own homebrew worlds for D&D. And so when it was their turn to DM, our characters would go through a portal or plane shift, and we'd have an adventure in his world. So it was, if you round robin DM, if everybody gets a turn being the DM, I think that would cure a lot of our ills as a community of hobbyists. I think players would actually start to understand what the DM goes through or what it's like to be a DM, I know because I've seen it happen with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, even people who don't think that they could DM. They honestly think, oh my gosh, I could never DM. Please don't make me do that. No, I won't. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of people that really believe that about themselves. Once a little positive peer pressure gets them to do it anyway, they just bloom. They blossom. They flower. And they're kind of like, wow, this is actually really kind of fun. I didn't know I could do this. And it really uplifts their self-esteem and stuff. So, yeah, and I think that maybe I'm just being too optimistic or whatever, too, like a Hallmark card or some old-fashioned, Disney movie or something. But I really think that if more players these days would actually DM, if more groups would pass the screen and make people take turns DMing in their group, that there would be a lot less animosity between players and DMs. I think more players would get it. So, maybe that's a little too optimistic, but, that's just my thought for today. I think that is probably the healthiest thing you could do for your gaming group is round robin the DMing screen. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to have a majority DM, because we did. But sooner or later, everybody should get a chance to do it. So, if you like our content, be sure to check us out down below. We have a Patreon where people can sign up for personal coaching, personal tutoring from me and some other grumpy old GMs here in St. Louis and other places. We'll hook you up on Discord or the telephone with personal calls, personal coaching. Our Discord is down below for you to hang out with us. And we've got a website down below where you can sign up and actually play games with us. So in the meantime, I will see you around the gaming table.